All right, I'm going to do a quick video walkthrough of my property here that's for sale at 375 West, 450 South. It's a 2,300 square foot home with I think it's about 9.8 acres. Whatever the listing says on Zillow will be correct. So here's the driveway. Here's kind of the neighbors. It's not many neighbors. I guess our closest neighbors are right in front of us there. So the driveway, we don't actually own the driveway. There's an easement, and then the corner of the property is right here. So the driveway is an easement, permanent easement. And then that's the front corner of the property. The garage, so we're looking southwest here, which the wind usually comes right out of that direction. So it's nice having the wind not blowing into the garage. The downside to that is that when people come to visit, they see the house like this and they don't know which door to go to. Visitors, you'll usually want them to come around the back side of the house to the what we call the front door, but it's really in the back side of the house. So you got the AC unit out here, and then that's access to underneath the house. There's really good access underneath there. We'll come in the garage, two-car garage. It's really good lighting in here. And there's certain things that, could potentially be included in the sale of the house, such as, and I'll try and point them out as we go, like these shelves here. Not that we are necessarily going to include them, but we would be open to including the shelves or things like some of the appliances like this chest freezer or whatnot, if that's important to a potential buyer. So I left my vehicles in here just to show kind of the size, give you a sense of the scale of the garage. It's really pretty big. There's a lot of room. Like if you wanted to park your lawnmower in here, there's a lot of room, even with the tools and storage that we have in here. There's a lot of room for two vehicles and still lots of space. This is a expedition, extra large expedition that, there's still plenty of room in here. So I'd say the garage is one of the highlights, even though it's unfinished. I'd say it's one of the highlights of the property is the large garage. So you come in this way. Now as you come in through the garage, there's actually a proximity light that turns on automatically when you open the door. And then you got the laundry room right here, the water heater, and then the electric furnace is here. So it's got central air heating and cooling. We've got the stacked washer and dryer, but this is not a permanent installation here. We just put this cabinet in here to store shoes. But if you wanted to, you could have a side-by-side washer and dryer. Just pull that out. Okay, this door comes right into the bathroom. So there's two doors into the bathroom here. And that's not a door we often use, but it's available. You got vinyl floors that match throughout. All the hard floors are the same. The piano is one of those things that, could potentially be included in the sale, as well as the washer and dryer. So we come in here, and it's kind of an extra large, wide hallway. Here's a bathroom. We've recently replaced the sink, the faucet, and the toilet. The granite countertops are matching throughout the house. We'll come into, here's the smart thermostat, into the bedroom. This has double doors into the closet, but it's one connected closet. There's a large window here. And we can come across to the other bedroom. This bedroom might be a little bit smaller than the other one. It does have only one door to the closet. And then, but it goes back in there a little ways, so on both sides. Large window, and then there's the backyard, but also, I mean, you could say that's the front of the house, but it's the back of the house. It's a little bit strange. And like I said, if the piano would be important to the buyers, we could potentially include that. And we have this large kind of game room here with lots of windows. So that's a 75-inch TV, so just for perspective, that's a pretty large space. And we would be open to including like this sectional if that's something that the buyers wanted. These shelves are built in on the sides, and then it has wiring built in for the surround sound system. And we'd even be open to including the television if that's something that the buyers wanted. So there's plenty of room here, to set up that ping pong table, play ping pong. Okay, so continuing through the house here, we have the granite countertops again, and then lots of storage here in the hallway. Little coat closet here. And then we're into the living room, kitchen area, dining area. Again, the matching countertops. And the kitchen, I'd say one of the highlights of the kitchen, it's a good design, and there's a lot of storage space. So you got plenty of cabinets there, there. And, we'd be open to potentially including the fridge, definitely these chairs, the range. This is an extra large microwave that would also likely be included. Show you the corner pantry here. We did install this. This is a reverse osmosis filtration system, so that's where the water comes in for that, and then also to the fridge. And we like having that reverse osmosis for watering all of our plants that we have. And there's kind of some built-in shelves too. We'd most likely leave the shelves if that's something you want. Shelves on that corner there. This electric fireplace also, it goes so well in that spot. We figured that we'd likely include that with the home. Or even potentially that TV stand there. So here we have, I guess, the office, but could also be used as a bedroom. The light switch is here on the outside, and I actually removed that to the outside because I didn't like reaching around the door to turn it on. But I left that open in case, if this was a bedroom, you likely would want the switch on the inside. And so I've left that open for now. That can be switched. And it's got a built-in desk and more built-in shelves there. And a nice big window. You can view the front yard, and then there's kind of a flower garden here. Okay, we can move into the master bedroom back here. There's a little wrinkle there in the carpet. Carpets match throughout the house, and there's not any like bad staining, but the carpet is original, and it's probably what, 15, 18 years old. And so that's something that you'd likely want to upgrade sooner than later, is the carpet. But it's not too bad. So this is a large bedroom. This is a king size bed, and there's lots of room in here. Two nice windows. You can see the garden out this window. And then that's a nice ornamental cherry tree. Nice shade in the summertime. Now into the bathroom, the master bathroom. More matching, granite countertops. And the same vinyl flooring. It's, I'm pretty sure it's vinyl, but it's pretty good looking. And the same cabinets that, match throughout the house. Large tub is really nice. And then the shower, separate shower here. And then again, we did upgrade the sinks and the faucets just in the last couple of years, as well as this toilet. And then we've got the walk-in closet in here. That's nice, and it has its own light. And you got the built-in cabinets again in the bathroom, so lots of storage in there. All right, we'll take you out the front door or back door, depending on how you want to look at it. So there's the flower garden. Front porch here in the front yard, backyard. We got the garden, raised beds. There's a nice little fire pit here. My kids love playing in the sandbox. Now we were going to put in a pond here, and we decided not to. It's just not something that every buyer might be interested in. I've put in a few ponds with a waterfall and a stream, but we decided not to do that. So that's why there's a dead spot here. We'll plant grass. I still think it's a great spot for a pond, but that's just not something that's for everybody. That little building over there is the pump house. So there's right there, that is a sandpoint well that you can use to irrigate. We use the sandpoint in that little pump to irrigate the yard. And then there's a separate well right there is the top of the well, the regular well. And so that sandpoint well is just so that you can pump more water faster with that bigger pump, with that pump there. And so from the sandpoint, there's kind of a separate system of pipes. This outlet here comes from the sandpoint, as well as there's one over there. And so you hook up the hoses, and you can kind of water the whole yard using that sandpoint well. Well, we'll show you what I call the office, or a tiny house. So it has this mini split heat pump here. It's for heating and cooling. And I do like the door, the glass door to the office, what I use as an office, and it's great for working from home. We could potentially include the desk, but depending on how you want to use this, and maybe you don't want the desk, you could use this as a bedroom, or a guest room, or a man cave. Or you've got the kind of a kitchenette here. You got the sink here and the built-in cabinets. A little small window here to the greenhouse. Good shade, or a good wind block there with those willows. Pretty good wind block. And then this building has its own water heater. And this is a full bathroom with a tub and a shower combo there. And the mini split, so that's for heating and cooling. It's really efficient, it's really quiet. And you just set the temperature and it does a fine job keeping this whole building at the right temperature, whatever you set it to. Okay, we can go now to look at I'll show you the shed. So I built this shed, actually, it was for my pumpkin patch. We ran a pumpkin patch in Paul, and we built the shed to kind of as a sales place for our pumpkin patch. We stopped doing the pumpkin patch and I moved it here, and so this is where it's going to stay. We did insulate it with, we have like some spray foam insulation, and so it's, you know, it's fairly well insulated. You know, for a shed, it's really well insulated. And my kids really enjoy coming out here and playing with the light out here, and it's just kind of their little playhouse, but also good storage. We've got more storage in here, and you can store things up above. We were going to finish it all out, and we ended up not doing the pumpkin patch anymore and moved it over here and just use it as a storage shed now. But it's really nice. Strawberry beds, you get a lot of strawberries out of those. And I do have a watering system set up. It's an automatic system that waters the strawberries, and you can use it for the garden here. And we've got really good soil for the garden. I just tilled it up. It's a good, it's fairly sandy, but there's also some good clay. It's pretty good soil, and just a great garden spot. One of the highlights, I would say, of the yard. And then this is another ornamental cherry, just like that one. Come back here to the greenhouse. And you know, a greenhouse isn't for everybody. It's just a little greenhouse. If you don't want it, I can easily have it removed. But it could be something you're really excited about. I've always enjoyed having a greenhouse. Just a fun spot to get my garden going early. Some flowers and tomatoes and whatnot. And then this is the drip system that I have set up. So we have each one of these valves. Right now I just have 4, and each valve can control a different zone. You know, it's all Wi-Fi connected. And so I have one zone for the strawberries, I have one zone for some trees, and then one zone that waters the raspberries, and then another zone that you could connect to water the garden once you get it planted. So one of those is currently not connected, but you know, if that's the thing that you want, for me it's been really fun to use that. Show you the chicken coops back here. So we have 2 separate coops. Got some chicks in there, and then another coop here for the larger chickens, and they can come in and out here. Nothing too special. We just built it with kind of reclaimed old wood, but it works really nice for our chickens. We've got power back here and then a frost-free outlet here. And then here's the chicken run. And you can open that so that they can use both coops. For now we have that door shut for our little chicks. We've got some willows growing in there. We figured once those willows get big, it'll just provide even more wind protection for the yard. We've got a few willows back here. These willows are not the same. They're a hybrid willow that is not the same as those. Those willows are kind of messy. You know, when you have a big windstorm, you do lose a lot of branches. But I actually really like these branches because I have a small wood chipper. It makes really good Makes really good wood chips that you can use to kind of dress up the yard a little bit. So there's our raspberries, and you can see the line going to water the raspberries. And you know, once these trees get leaves on them, they provide a fairly good windbreak. Now the dog kennel back here, I was actually hoping to keep these panels, to keep the dog kennel, just these 4 panels, but if that's something that, you know, if somebody has dogs, they might want to keep that, and that's something we'd be open to keeping with the house, depending on what the buyer wants. Got water back here and electricity. We've got a dusk to dawn light out here to light up the yard at night. It's an LED dusk to dawn light. And then I've been using this as I raise quail, California quail, and so I modified this old shed as just a, it's connected here so that the quail can use it. But this could all easily be converted to use for larger animals. But I've had fun raising quail, so that's what I use that building for. We've just got this netting that could, you know, easily be removed. And let's see, that's the yard. Got a little pine tree started right here. Pasture. For now we have our neighbor's cows. My neighbor's really happy to rent it. It's a mixture of grass and hay. Let me get to the other side here. So back from this corner of the yard, we have got a good, on this part of the pasture, it's a good mixture of grass and alfalfa. And in previous years, the neighbor has cut it for hay. This year he decided to just put his cows out here. So we've got cows out there currently. Easy to water right out of the canal is right there. And so the entry, you can see where the water comes in. Right there is where the water comes in. That's the very corner of our property back there. And then over there's a separate pasture that's about 2 acres that is just pure grass. That's fenced. It's got a electric fence running down it. So if you wanted to split that, you've got kind of a separate pasture over there. That's where that fence comes in. Kind of hard to tell from the video probably, but then you've got the other corner of the yard right there. The corner of the property, I should say. And that's about it. So if you have any questions, please give me a call. My number is 208-670-5323.